What about England flying into India 3 days before the first Test match, doing their prep in Dubai, in the UAE, in a nice, comfortable five-star hotel, and flying in 3 days before the first test? I know that we've all got to get our heads around the new world order, but I don't know. That doesn't sit easy with me.
Madness. Honestly, I'm old, and people are going to throw things at me saying, "Yeah, you're just an old man and you're talking rubbish." But I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not for warm-up games. I don't mind them not playing warm-up games. I really don't. But 3 days before going to Hyderabad, they're going to Hyderabad, Vishakhapatnam, Rajkot, Ranchi, and Dharmsala. They're not going to Bangalore. They're not going to Mumbai. They're not going to the bigger stadiums where the practice facilities are and the grounds and the hotels are a little bit sort of more desirable. They're going into the real heart of India. For me, you've got to get on the ground early. You've got to be able to. The ball's not going to spin as much in Dubai than it is in Hyderabad or Vishakhapatnam. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Do you know what it does? It really. I hate to throw this at this group, but it keeps. I've been saying I think the CCB are now getting a little bit arrogant, and unfortunately, that decision itself. I've never really been a big one for kicking back against the team, and I'm always I really want to be supportive of it. But that decision stinks of we want to stay in Dubai. The hotels are nicer, the place is nicer, the golf courses are nicer, the beer's better, everything is better about that. You go into India. India, India itself is one of the toughest places in the world. This is tougher than going to Australia, playing against Australia in the Ashes. When you go into India, to go in 3 days before, you'll be 2-0 down before you realise how much the ball's spinning, or what the conditions are going to be like. I'm sorry, man, as I'm just an old man, unfortunately.
Not as old as me, and I share your view completely. I just think it's just bonkers. I mean, I remember when Gary Kirsten was on the verge of being appointed as Indian coach, and he said to me in a private conversation, which I'm now making public, well, I can just stay in Dubai. I base myself out of Dubai, and fly in before the games, and because his three children were very young at the time, and I said, Gary, there's 1.3 billion people, many of whom have got young children, and including young children. So they're all happy enough living in India. I really think you should consider doing the same. And I think England, they need to spend some time acclimatizing, really, to everything. It's not, as you said, yeah, it can be counterproductive, playing a 3 day warm up game against a team that may not be of the highest quality, and that's why England went towards this sort of playing 2 day warm up games, which is basically an outdoor net with fielders. But still, when I say acclimatise, I'm not talking about the weather. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just get into India.
Manners, England have got a 40-year-old fast bowler. They've got Ollie Robinson, who, let's be fair, put it out there, you don't know what Ollie Robinson's going to turn up. Fair play to him. I've seen videos of him. He looks fitter. He looks in decent order. He looks as though he's been practicing. But he's walked off after 6 or 7 overs in games in the past. Mark Wood, another one, who has got an injury record, which you try to get him through. A test series could be challenging. Honestly, it does. For me, it stinks of arrogance that the beer's better, the golf courses are better, and everything's rosier in Dubai than it is going to be in Vish. You are going to the heart of India. Get your head around that. Don't go 3 days before, because by the time you've played two test matches might just last 3 days in the first two, and all of a sudden you're two tests in, you're 2-0 down. You probably haven't played anywhere near to the cricket that you'd like, and people then will question the acclimatization and what you did beforehand. So again, I come back to the fact that I'm an old man, and this a lot of these decisions in the last 18 months have been good ones because they've been winning. Now they're not winning. I know they didn't win the Ashes. And now there's a little bit of pressure on them. I think when you scrutinise some of the decisions that they're making, I think they're head scratchers.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.